verse. Okay, so this verse section is very important because verse is actually exactly the same as the pre-chorus. Okay, so once you get this verse, you pretty much got the pre-chorus as well. But anyway, I'll show you how the verse goes. The verse is actually pretty easy as well. The verse is actually 2 times of the specific chord pattern. Okay, check it out. It goes like this. Here's a preview. Repeat itself for the verse. Okay, so that's the verse, and also later on it's also the same thing as the pre-chorus as well. But anyway, yeah, since we kind of like developed the fact that we know that the left hand and right hand is actually playing in unison, we can actually do both hands at the same time. So I go through the chords really slowly and it'll be a lot easier. Okay, so firstly, there are 8 parts for this verse. Okay, so let's break it up to 8 parts. Let's go to part 1 first. Okay, we'll go through very slowly the 2 hands together, so it'll just be a lot flowing because like the hands, you kind of like want to learn it with the chords for both hands together because both hands actually kind of forming the chord at the same time. Okay, but anyway, okay, so the first part of this verse, so it goes like this. Okay, whenever I say the bass note on the left hand, I'm playing an octave, but I'm just saying 1 note because basically if I say D, I'm playing 2 Ds, okay? So keep that in mind, and we'll learn through the verse like that, okay? But anyway, okay, so the first part, we have 4 like chords with these 2 hands, okay? So it goes like this. The chord is, on the left hand is D, on the right hand is A major, which is A, C sharp, E. So in essence, it's the same as the first part of the intro. In essence, it actually is exactly the same. Yeah, so the first part of the verse is exactly the same as the first part of the intro. Remember that, so we just save some time, okay? So exactly the same, just goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's the first part of the verse. Exactly the same as the first part of the intro. Remember that, okay? One more time, so the first part of this verse goes like this. Together, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Together, 2, 3, together, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same rhythm, remember that 3-5 rhythm, very prominent throughout this verse and chorus. No, pre-chorus, okay? But anyway, yeah, moving on. Okay, now the second part of the verse is different now, okay? We'll go through it very slowly. Second part of the verse goes like this, okay? 2 hands, goes like this, okay? Left hand, we have A, so I'm just playing 2 A's, remember that? Whenever I say the left hand, 1 note, I just mean 2 notes at the same time with the octave. You can do 1 note if you want, but it's all right. Okay, so left hand A, right hand is it goes B, E, and G sharp, okay, which is basically E major, the second version, okay? So that's the first chord out of the 4 chords for the second part, okay? So remember that, that's the first one. And then the next one is, let me see, A major. So basically, keep the A, and the right hand is C sharp, E, A, like that. So there's always, the left hand's always doing 4 per turn, okay? Just like the first part, okay? But anyway, that's the second chord. And then repeat it, the first chord again, which is the A at the bass note with the B, E, G sharp. And then repeat A major again, like that. Okay, those are the 4 chords for the second part. Let's do it again. So basically, left hand is always playing 4 of the same bass notes. So that's one thing that you can kind of like remember. So it's easier to kind of like process the parts. Okay, anyway, second part one more time. So it goes like this, B, E, G sharp to A major. Okay, so it goes together, 2, 3, together, 2, 3, 4, 5. Together, 2, 3, together, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's the second part. Remember that, okay? Anyway, now moving on to the third part of this verse, okay? Now, once again, the left hand, we shift the bass note now to a different bass note, but it's still 4 of the same bass note for this third part. Okay, the left hand, the bass notes, 4 bass notes, they're all E's. Okay, so remember that. Okay, the right hand. Okay, so there's 4 chords once again. Right hand, the first chord is B major, which is B, D sharp, F sharp. So left hand is E, right hand is B, D sharp, F sharp. Okay, so we play that. That's the first chord for this third part. And then the second chord is the right hand goes second version of E minor, which is B, E, G. Okay, so that's the second chord. And then the third chord, same as the first chord, which is the B major with the E bass. And then the right hand is, once again, same thing, which is the second version of E minor with the E bass. Like that. So that's the third part. Okay, so that's the third part. Remember that? So it goes together, 2, 3, together, 2, 3, 4, 5. Together, 2, 3, together, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, just like that. Okay, moving on to the fourth part of this verse. Okay, the fourth part of the verse goes like this. The left hand changes bass notes again. So it's 4 of the G bass note this time. So remember that for the left hand. Okay, this is the fourth part. Right hand, 4 chords. The 4 chords are, okay, it is second version of D major, which is A, D, F sharp. So you play that together for the first. Okay, and then the second chord is G major first inversion, which is B, D, G. Okay, that's the second chord. And then the third chord is same as the first chord once again, which is the G bass with the second inversion D major on the right hand. And then once again, the fourth chord, same as the second chord, which is just G major. And there's a G and B, D, G. So it's pretty simple. You can see that throughout the verse, it's always kind of like repeating the pattern for every part, okay? Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's the fourth part of the verse. So remember that? So like this. Together, 2, 3, together, 2, 3, 4, 5. Together, 2, 3, together, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's the fourth part of the verse. Okay, the remaining 5th to 8th part of the verse, so 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, remember, the reason why I broke it up like this is because the 5th to 8th part of the verse is exactly the same as the first 4 parts of the verse that we just learned. So we just repeat it again. So the 5th to 8th part just goes like this. So look at the patterns. Together, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it for the verse. Okay, now after the verse, moving on to the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus is super simple because it is actually exactly the same as the pattern and what the right hand and the chord pattern is doing for the verse. Exactly the same amount of times as well. So basically 8 parts, but the 8 parts, exactly the same 8 parts as the verse. So we already know that, so we can actually just play through it, okay? So the pre-chorus, exactly the same as the verse, remember that. So it just goes like this. But it's a bit louder, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the fourth part. After the fourth part, remember, just repeat it for the 5th to 8th parts. Just like that, okay? So super simple, right? So verse and pre-chorus exactly the same. Remember that, okay? Now moving on to one.